to All About Community. My name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and my guest today is the former mayor of the city of Oakland, Elihu Mason Harris. Elihu, welcome back to All About Community.
I'm happy to be here. Always interesting having a conversation with you, Robert.
Well, I tell you, sadly, our city's in chaos. Did you ever envision when you were mayor that we would end up in the state that we're in right here in 2023? Did you ever think about that?
I never thought it'd be at a crisis level. I knew there'd be problems. We had earthquakes and fires and all kinds of things.
We had a major earthquake.
Right, but not to this point where we have the city in such disarray, so much dirt, so much homelessness, so much in the way of crime, people not safe in their homes. All these are the kinds of things that really disturb the quality of life, the peace that people ought to enjoy as citizens of Oakland.
Already there are more than 100 murders in the city of Oakland. I believe that when you ended your tenure as mayor, there were only 68 homicides. Is that correct?
Actually, about 62.
Oh, wow, even better than I said. 62 homicides. No, what's going on now? Are people just more violent, or was something going on differently?
Well, first, in the 90s, when I was the mayor, the problem was drugs, and most of the homicides, most of the crime was drug related. Now we have violence against seniors. We've got smash and grab robberies. We've got all the kinds of things that have to do with not only disrespect, but just a lack of basic humanity. People are not stealing because they're hungry. They're stealing because they choose to steal. And that may sound harsh, but I think it's really true. When people are robbing cars, breaking into homes, it's almost like a vocation. It's not something you do out of necessity. You do it like it's almost a job, a professional thief, a professional murderer, a professional drug dealer. All these things, I think, are really having to do with the quality of life and certainly respect for life that I think I'd never expected to have in Oakland.
Now, in the recent State of the City address by the mayor, she indicated, and I'm quoting now, "Never bet against the city of Oakland." That really confused me because it appears as though she is betting against the city of Oakland because of her behavior, how she is not governing the way that she ought to govern. I know that you can't say anything that may appear to be not supportive of the mayor, but has she asked you for advice?
No, I haven't talked to the mayor since the election. I did not support her during the election, and as a result, I think she decided that I'm either irrelevant or disrespectful or something that doesn't merit communication. So I accept that reality, and she has her term to be the mayor. Unfortunately, the city requires, I think, collaboration, communication, and all hands on deck. But I think that that's something she has yet to realize.
No, but it seems to me that does not make sense. You have a former mayor who did, in my opinion, a very exceptional job. You want to talk to that person.
First of all, you don't have the luxury of being arrogant as mayor. It requires a certain level of humility because the job is tough. You need everyone's support, you need everyone's goodwill, everyone's cooperation. You talk about it's all about community. That's true for the city of Oakland. Oakland is a city of neighborhoods. You have to get everyone engaged in issuing, working for the children, working for elderly people, working for those who are disabled, just all together. And if we don't come together, then we all suffer. And I think that's what's happening in Oakland.
And that's so important, coming together. I noticed when we were walking into the building a few minutes ago, we met this young lady who said that, "I wish you were the mayor." And I know that made you feel good. But she had a tone in her voice which said that there is something fundamentally wrong with Oakland. We need to get back to basics. And my question is this. As soon as the mayor took office, she decided to fire the police chief, Lerone Armstrong. Did that make sense? She had only been I guess she'd been in office, what, a week?
Well, it would have made sense if she had someone in mind who she thought was better. You have a right. jobs are not guaranteed, including the police chief. But if you're going to dismiss one, then you ought to have one that you not only believe is better, but actually is going to prove to be a better choice. Someone who can reduce crime, have a higher level of communication with the community. Whatever you think was wrong with the previous chief certainly ought to be corrected. Now it's been 10, 11 months since LaRon was the chief of police in Oakland, and we still don't have a permanent chief. That to me is negligence.
And I think that's a good point. Negligence. Now, where do you think she's getting her advice from? Because some of the stuff she does, it blows your mind. It said you have to be on another planet to do some of this stuff.
Well, I think one thing you and your mayor, you got to decide if you're going to be the homecoming queen or the student body president. And I think it's mayor is a job that requires a level of collaboration, certainly the desire to get the best information, the best perspective, the best ideas that you can. And I think that's, you really have to be out and about. You can't be insular in City Hall. You got to be out in the community. You've got to be communicating with people. And I think that's sometimes when you're under criticism and you're having problems, maybe you don't want to hear what people have to say, but I think it's a requirement of the job.
And that's so important. As former Mayor Elihu Harris said, you have to be out in the community about the community. The NAACP and other groups have tried constantly to meet with the mayor, and as I understand it, she has yet to meet with them after almost 11 months. Now, to me, that doesn't make sense at all. I know we have to go to break, so don't touch that remote. We will be right back with All About Community. And when we come back, we're going to continue for just a moment our discussion about the firing of the Oakland police chief and whether or not that made sense. We will be right back with All About Community.